Imagine one day you wake up and boom, everything's prehistoric. You've got hide tents, wooden spears, a campfire, and no idea what you're doing. You harvest, build, panic, hunt, cry, fish, grab a big rock, farm not enough, and die. At least the first time I played. We're talking about Dawn of Man, a colony-building survival strategy game where you progress through the ages while being tested by disease, famine, inability to follow simple instructions, acts of animals, acts of raiders, and acts of God! The game was made in 2019 by a two-person development team called Madruga Works, and goes for about $25 on Steam. I love this game. I've put in about 33 hours so far, and it seems I have a lot of game left, but it does have some major flaws. The real question though, is it worth buying? Starting up this game for the first time gave me instant nostalgia for an old game I played over and over again when I was younger, Black and White 2. While this game is missing some certain aspects such as a giant floating hand in the sky and an oversized cow, there are regular cows, and you can pretend your cursor is a hand, if you want. Besides those two things, the civilization building feels plenty similar. You start with nothing and have to do what needs to be done in order to survive. That being said, it is pretty straightforward, and the tutorial system doesn't leave a lot of room for confusion. At the beginning, you tell your people to start gathering sticks, stones, flint, hide, fish, meat, berries, and other things to help build up your settlement, and tell them to make new structures that either house, let you craft, give storage space, produce items, and so forth. As you build, hunt, and scavenge your way through life, you end up getting knowledge points that allow you to upgrade your tech and ultimately make maintaining your little civilization easier. Eventually you start getting enough knowledge points to enter a new era, which usually means a jump in technology and tools for your little town. The only problem with this is that some would-be assailants also get more tools and decide to start charging you with sticks and throwing rocks at you for what seems to be no reason. Maybe it's related to the skulls on sticks that people keep worshipping. Unfortunately, the raiders were little more than an occasional nuisance and never really posed a real threat. All I had to do was press an alarm button and everyone would go and form a death clump and throw 1,000 spears at them, and then done. I was really hoping that I would need to set up an actual solid defense for these guys, but making walls and defenses just take too many resources and too much time when a death clump is just so effective. Now this wasn't on hardcore difficulty, mind you, so that may be a bit different, but I doubt it. Going back to upgrades, the tech tree is pretty straightforward and definitely rewarding, but as you go up in tech, the knowledge point income starts to come to a crawl. When this happens, the game can become a bit dull as you wait for you villagers to collect the next 1,000 fish, sticks, or whatever. Oh, and let's talk about the speed of the game. The game enables and almost encourages you to speed up time as your slow-ass villagers shuffle towards their next destination. Now, I'm the type of strategy gamer that likes the game speed at one time, so I can experience all the moments of triumph and tragedy in all its splendor. But god damn it, Cornet, could you move any slower? What I did to remedy this was to set the stage for autonomous production while in slow-ass mode, and cranking it up to 8 times whenever I didn't want to stare at my watch and tap my feet at them while waiting for the next batch of sticks. You know, Cornac has feelings too. And when he's feeling down in the dumps from me shouting orders at him too much, he moves at about half the pace. But of course, nothing cures the blues better than bowing to a stick adorned with the skulls of your enemies. Happiness level, sleep, and hunger have a huge effect on the efficiency of the game, which forces you to address the problem without over-punishing you for it right away. It's a mechanic that I really like. The game really does do a good job of giving you a lot of things to manage, while not overburdening you with managing every little thing. Managing things like sleep, sadness, and hunger don't involve you clicking on the individuals, they do it themselves, as long as you have the tools in place for them to do so. Which brings me to my next point. The thing that differentiates itself from others of this genre is the use of what they call work areas, where you can automate what your villagers are focusing on and when they should stop. The only problem with this system is that the people will literally die of starvation in front of a warehouse of food because they need to shear a sheep or gather food. It was really frustrating at the time, but really it was a result of overworked little humans. There is a workload mechanic where if you go over a certain number, your villagers essentially panic and will start doing tasks at random, decreasing efficiency and in some cases dooming your city. The game focuses on slow and methodical expansion, and it will punish you for trying to grow bigger than your britches. Britches is a fun word. Every time I came back to this game, it was a great experience, even when my people were suffering. It's a really chill game and it's intensely satisfying to upgrade the potential of your people and see how efficiency increases. Overall, the gameplay is clean and it allows you to play at your own pace, even if that pace is at 8 times the normal speed. If you're looking for a good civilization building game with a focus on resource management and automation building, this game is for you. So, is this game worth $25? With the replayability and the sheer amount of time you can spend enjoying this game, I'd say it is.